What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. I've got another unboxing for you today, and it is the Google Pixel 4 in Oh So Orange. Been looking forward to this. I've used a number of phones, but I think the only kind of stockish Android phone I've used in the past year or two has been the OnePlus 7 Pro and the OnePlus 6T. I actually liked the offerings from Nokia as well, as far as stock Android is concerned, but never quite got my hands on a Pixel, and to be completely honest with you, was never super interested in the Pixel phones before, only because of the hardware. Some of the things it lacked and the way it looked, to be quite honest with you. As you know, if you watched my videos in the past, even though I do usually buy a case or two for my phones, I don't like putting cases on phones. I like to rock them naked and enjoy the design. And this is the first time I think that the Pixel looks pretty good. It looks pretty decent. I mean, this is a gigantic whatever camera square here, but let's face it, it beats the one on the iPhone. It's very much like what Huawei brought with, was it the Mate 20? I forgot, to be honest, but it's not so bad. And the color options are a little bit limited, and the orange here is apparently limited edition. Otherwise you get white in a matte finish and a black and a polished finish. And I don't like the polished finish so much in this phone. Most of the time I do like those reflective sort of polished finishes, but only when the whole phone is like that, like in the Galaxy S10, for example. Some of the Huawei's, the Apple iPhone 10 and 10s, first nice design from Apple as far as hardware in a while, really. Not so much the notch, but outside of that. So, it kind of fits Google's, I guess, design ethos. It's well built. Apparently, we'll find out. But it's still kind of playful and colorful. It actually reminds me a lot of some of the old Nokia Lumias, if you remember those, that were in different colors, including an orange like this, like the Lumia 930 and 830. And there was also a shade of green that was kind of bright, which the Pixel Buds actually come in. Anyway, without further ado, so I'm going to unbox this. It's going to be a pretty quick, brief unboxing, and then stay tuned. Later on, I will probably go through the OS a little bit and tell you the first, several things you should do if you just bought a Pixel 4. So here we go. Have not opened this guy yet. In fact, never unboxed a Pixel phone, as we've established. So let's see here. All right. I wonder how it compares to some of the Galaxy unboxings. I've heard there are pull tabs and so forth. Alrighty. So see the back. This is retail packaging, by the way. This came straight from the Google store. So you see it says hashtag Team Pixel on the back, and it's got the phone you ordered in the color that you ordered, and it shows the color you ordered on the front as well. I also want to tell you all to bear with me a little bit. There's apparently some drilling or construction or something going on outside, and you probably heard it in the background. I should have mentioned in the beginning, so sorry if that was annoying. All right, here we are right off the bat. You got the phone. Nothing on this side of the box. I am going to take this out and file it to the side a little bit here. I already noticed some heft to the phone, which is a good thing. A good kind of, make you feel like it's premium quality. So, some packaging, some cardboard here, and a little box with booklets, pamphlets, and your SIM ejector tool actually inserted with that. Obviously instructions that and a user guide that I don't think people will really read. And you've got your OTG, USB-A to USB-C right here. You see it. Not sure I'm going to take it out of the box because I think I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to start anew with these. You got your USB-C to USB-C cable. Comes with an 18-watt charger in the box, I believe, which should be right over here. Indeed. It's got some plastic on that. We'll unwrap. And it's a mix of, looks-wise, some chargers we've had. The new charger that's coming with the Samsung phones, like the Note 10 and Note 10 Plus, kind of has this shape-ish. I think most of them are black, maybe a little more rounded. maybe a bigger version of what the Apple AC adapter looks like, but that's only 5 watts out of the box. Slowest charging in the business out of the box for the iPhone. All right, now you all came to see this right here. Really, really nice size in the hand. All right, obviously you'd like to have the bigger battery of the XL, although that's going to burn battery a little quicker too, higher resolution screen and a bigger display. But more practical, and aesthetically speaking, I think nicer to use. The XL is great too, but I feel like the XL Plus you're going to put a case on it most likely. That's just, yeah, not really good for one-handed use. I'm going to shut up now so you can hear this. Very nice. Very nice right here. See it? You probably saw me. I was probably smiling. Very nice tactile buttons. I've heard that the power button is a pink. Maybe you can say that. I just think it's actually a much lighter version than this kind of orangish coral on the back here. This color, it very much is coral. It reminds me of some of the other coral colored I guess electronics and phones, and reminds me of actual coral, like if you've seen coral prayer beads, or I guess the coral, was it the iPhone, I forgot which iPhone, but a couple of them came in a kind of a glossy coral, but this matte finish is something else. It really is. It's really smooth, and it doesn't look like glass, but you can certainly tell that it's glass. And of course aluminum on the sides. It's a different kind of phone. It really is something unique. If you want a different experience from all the other glass metal sandwich designs, I think this is it. Now, I've heard bad things about battery life, but I think also a lot of people are making assumptions based on the battery capacity. But I'm sure battery life isn't fantastic. At the same time, there's going to be software updates, and if you're like me, you probably can charge the phone at different parts of the day. Now, that's not to give Google a pass at all. All right, there should have been a wide-angle lens, first of all, and there should have been a bigger battery in this thing. But most phones have, pluses and minuses, have flaws and strengths. So I'm going to use the thing first before I make a final judgment. But first impressions, hardware-wise, I like this thing. Really, really nice. And it's just so clean on the back. I don't see any markings at all. Nothing except that G, that Google logo. So, you see the camera hump here on the top. I believe all you have here, I think this is a microphone. Your SIM tray is right here, nothing else. On the left side of the phone, on the right side, as I showed you, the power button, the volume rocker, and on the bottom, very clean, USB-C port, 2 bottom firing speakers. Of course, the front speaker is in here, along with all that great camera tech for face unlock, solely radar system, motion sense, etc. And let me bring in my Samsung Galaxy S10 in here. This is the regular S10, not the Plus. Maybe see a little bit of the size difference in comparison here. Wipe this down a little bit with its fingerprints. Google Pixel 4 is a little bit smaller. I want to say it feels slightly heavier. It's not a heavy phone by any means, but slightly heavier. I can tell you that the S10 looks slightly taller, ever so slightly wider. However, I believe the Pixel is a little thicker. So in the hand, overall cubic volume, very close to the same, very, very close to the same. I think the Pixel might feel slightly larger in the hand if you're taking all dimensions into account. Could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. Very close in size. If you like the size of the S10, you'll like the size of the Pixel 4. Display-wise, slight difference. Probably more than a slight difference. So because of the lack of a bezel, I believe it's 6.1 inches on the S10, 6.4 on the S10 Plus, which I don't have beside me right now, and 5.7 inches on the Pixel 4. So the Pixel 4, as far as display size, closer to the S10e, which is 5.8 inches. So 5.7 versus 5.8. But again, overall size-wise of the phone, very similar. Although maybe this will be slightly more comparable to the S10e. It's got the flat display, 5.7 inch display versus the S10e's 5.8 inch. So, all right, I am going to pop my SIM in here, and I will again probably be back with some first things to do with this thing. And of course, if you've got any questions about this device, drop them in the comments below. Anything in particular you'd like to see, and I'll try to get that done. All right, Google Pixel 4, oh so orange, 128 gigabytes. Thanks for tuning in.